build 2 new ones and make improvements at the district's other 38 facilities. All of this at the cost of $250 million. And voters will have their say on the 2 new schools if they approve a referendum coming up in November. Naturally, there are a lot of questions about the plan, and we hope to clear some of those things up. So Dr. Aaron Jarrett joins us this morning, the superintendent of schools here in Rockford. Good to see you, Doctor. Thank you for joining us.
Matt, thanks for having me.
The one thing we want to go off right off the bat is people don't exactly like hearing the phrase closing schools. So what is the good that's actually coming out of closing 8 schools?
You know, I don't think I like hearing that phrase either.
Right.
And so what we're really focused on is we're building 13 additions. We're improving all of our schools. We're investing $250 million. And if the voters do approve that, we're going to be building 2 new elementary schools. And we think our students and our staff deserve 21st century learning environments. And what that means to me is, you know, a place where, you know, we can do a better job of equipping students for what they need and staff for what they need. And some of our buildings just aren't up to that challenge anymore.
We've heard the catchphrase, better schools, brighter future. It's a very much of a marketable brand to talk about. But let me ask you, what happens if the voters say no come November?
Well, if the voters say no, then we have another plan that we would move to. We would still move forward with closing schools, but we would look to expand our plan to do renovations and additions in some of the schools. So we would still take 5 schools that are considered for moving into 2 schools. That would still happen, but it would happen in a way that would not include building a new school.
Would that mean 8 schools still closed, or you may be shaving that off 5 or 6 to keep 2 open as a result?
What would essentially happen is that we would have, in the Cherry Valley, White Swan, Thompson area, we would expand onto one of the schools in the area there, and then we would also do something similar in the other situation. So we would still keep 1 school open of the existing schools and expand that in size.
I mentioned as we started here that this is an aggressive plan. Do you feel that it's an aggressive plan, or is this something that may be considered long overdue?
Well, you know, what was great is we spent so much time talking to the community about this. We had 39 task force meetings. We had over 40 community meetings, and I really feel like we got a strong sense that this is where the community wants to go. That's the power of spending time actually talking to people. And there were some uncomfortable meetings. There were some concerns that were shared. But all in all, I think we really ended up in a place that's going to be best for our students and for our staff moving forward.
A couple of more minutes before we get out of the way for you. And we've seen a huge push for manufacturing jobs at RFD, at Woodward, also the train plant down in Rochelle. So that has really increased in the areas. Is there enough curriculum to prepare students for those types of jobs in manufacturing careers here in the state line, do you think?
Well, we're really building in that direction. We have our Academy Expo coming up on September 16th at the BMO Harris Center. There will be literally all of our freshmen, as well as the freshmen from the Belvedere School District will be there. Last year we had 700 volunteers, 140 different jobs. Our entire high school curriculum is now organized around making sure students are college and career ready, and we're building that through our entire K-12 system. So it's really a chance to see how connected we really are with the business community at that event and some other things.
We had a chance to talk to Troy Flynn last week about the interest that the Rockford area might be in bidding for an IHSA state tournament. Maybe that'd be something that RPS would partner with as far as a bid goes. Have you talked about that sort of thing and bringing that and maybe highlighting RPS?
Absolutely. We're always looking for opportunities to bring economic development to the community and to provide opportunities for our student athletes. And so the Park District has done some wonderful things with the city and the county and regional with the Reclaiming First project, and we're certainly proud of our facility improvements. So if there's ever an opportunity, we're ready to jump on it.
Looking forward to seeing how that turns out. Thursday, hot day. What's the contingency plan? We're looking at 89, just to kind of get that out there right now.
Yeah, let's hope that we don't have to use any contingency plans. We like to save those days, and hopefully we'll have a little milder winter as well.
No, we'll be talking about winter weather delays before you know it. Dr. Aaron Jarrett, thank you for coming by. We appreciate it. We'll take a look at your top stories when we come back, but first, here's what's coming up on Good Morning America.
Good morning. Coming up next on GMA, an ABC News exclusive with the mom behind the wheel of her SUV shot at by New Mexico police, all while her children were inside. Her story shocked the nation, and now she is speaking out for the first time. And it's next on GMA.
When I became governor, state government needed to be cut, just like my lawn. So I got to work. I cut state spending by $5 billion, cut over 2 million square feet of office space, closed 50